Is there a conspiracy to grind America down? More importantly, is it worth watching? Find out on this week's Indy Christian Review. I was at the 2010 San Antonio Independent Christian Film Festival. The Jubilee Awards ceremony was winding down. It was time to announce the winner of the Best of Festival Award. The tension in the air was palpable as he slowly opened the envelope and read the name of the winning film. Agenda! Who? I hadn't seen it. So as soon as I could, I got a copy of the DVD and I watched it wondering what it was about this movie that could have possibly made it beat out my obvious choice for Best of Festival. Well, I watched it and I can see why it won. Wouldn't have been my choice, but I can see why it won. Check out the trailer.
The left wants you to think that the cultural changes that have taken place in America since the 1960s have done nothing but progress us forward toward a brave new world. This film will show that the brave new world they seek is nothing more than the failed policies and ideologies of the communism that enslaved over a third of the world's population during the 20th century. It will show that most people on the left aren't communist, just the useful idiots Lenin spoke of, being used to promote a socialist agenda, which is the first and necessary step toward communism.
I think this is one of the most serious threats to our country at the present time.
It will show they've done everything in their power to dumb down our children, undermine our families, rewrite our history, and promote obscenity and immorality everywhere that they can.
This is a scare movie. The gist of it is that there's a communist agenda that's trying to destroy the free America as we know it. If you're on the left side of the aisle politically, you're probably going to hate this movie, whereas politically minded conservative Christians will eat this stuff up. Me? Well, I hate politics. And this movie doesn't really scare me. Hear me out on this, and I apologize if I step on any toes. I don't see anywhere in the Bible where we as Christians are promised a lasting peace on this earth. I see a whole lot of promises of persecution, but no promises of peace. Correct me if you think I'm wrong on this one. If you look throughout history, from the Roman Empire to communist China, ungodly governments seem to make it a mission to destroy and persecute Christianity. But we are to be of good cheer. Christ has overcome the world. And it seems to me that where there's persecution, true Christianity thrives. So that's why threats of communist takeover and New World Order and other such scare stories don't really scare me. I'm not dismissing them, I just know how the story ends. So there. That's the last of politics you will ever hear on Indy Christian Review. Agenda is a well-made documentary. My only complaint from a production value standpoint is that some of the interviews tend to get a little repetitive. When you have 3 or 4 people in a row saying basically the same thing, I think it's time to make a couple cuts. So it may not have been my pick for Best of Festival, but it is still worth seeing. To find out more about Agenda, visit agendadocumentary.com. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for watching. Next week, we'll be hearing The Call of the Wild with Crying Wolf. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out our other reviews at indychristianreview.com. I'm Zack Lawrence. May God bless you, and may God bless independent Christian films. This episode of Indy Christian Review is brought to you by the Ichthus Network, your hub for Christian web series. Visit ichthusnetwork.com.